video that is going to be a part of the series, Dear African Americans Moving to Ghana. And it's going to be a series all about what you need to do to prepare for your permanent stay to Ghana. Now, I have not moved to Ghana yet, but we have been preparing to move to Ghana for some time now, so I do believe that I'm pretty much an expert as far as what needs to be done. I don't know everything, so I'm just going to be telling you based on what I feel like is important to know before you move, when you move there, and all of that good stuff. So that's what's going to be a part of this series. So first and foremost, I actually saw a TikTok video, going to be kind of sharing just a little snippet of what she said, because it's definitely going to be going into what I'm going to be talking about in my video. And then once you hear what she has to say, I'm going to come back in and elaborate on it. So let's watch this quick video.
I would say before you move, come first. Come for possibly an extended period of time and see whether or not you can handle it. Because Ghana is an education, honestly. You can either hack it or you can't hack it.
And she is absolutely right. I think it's important to visit Ghana at least twice. And if you're able to visit, I would say to stay in the country for at least 6 to 8 weeks. That definitely would give you that time to really acclimate into the culture, for you to experience the culture, and for you to be able to know for certain if moving to Ghana is for you. I have seen a couple of videos of African Americans who have moved to Ghana who just could not make it. It wasn't for them, and they end up moving back to the States. And I do feel like it's because they kind of went in cold turkey. They kind of moved cold turkey. They did not give themselves that time to just go and visit and just go there for a short amount of time. Only thing you're gonna be paying for is a plane ticket and some food or some money, you know, for you to get some food or whatever, hotel or whatever. But you're not literally moving over to the continent, which is going to be a lot more expensive if you're going to have to move back over to the United States of America. So yes, take that opportunity to visit. When you just go to Ghana cold turkey and you're from the United States of America, it is going to be a culture shock. It is going to be a culture shock. You're not just going to get off that plane and be like, oh, I'm in Ghana. Oh, let me go ahead and ease on in and transition. I mean, there might be some people that are able to do that, but I'm going to be honest, most African Americans, it is not going to be that easy. So visiting the country and really putting yourself in those situations during the visit will definitely ease some of that stress when you have permanently moved there. Now, we have been abroad. We have been abroad for some time now, and we're abroad due to jobs. And of course, when you're abroad due to jobs, you don't have the opportunity to come to the country to see how it is before you permanently move here. But I do wish that I would have gotten the opportunity to visit this country before we permanently moved here, because then the transition would have been a lot easier for me if I would have been able to see, okay, this is the culture, this is how they do things. I think the transition would have been a little easier. And just when you are in that country, in that space, in with the people, you're able to then decide if this is something that you are able to do long term. And the reason why I say at least go twice, maybe 3 times, is because in one of my videos, I talked about my first time going to Ghana was not the best experience because of the circumstances that was surrounding me actually being in Ghana at that particular time. So if I base me moving on that one visit, I would not be going to Ghana, because it was just too much for me. I didn't have a very good time. And so I'm glad that I was able to go multiple times. And again, I didn't go back to Ghana for a very long time. So I think it's important for you to get those visits. The first visit might not have been the best. You might find the second one and the third one the better visits. And so you'll say to yourself, okay, this is something that I can do. Now, like the lady said in the video, don't get discouraged or don't feel some sort of way if you do come to your visits during your visiting time and you say, you know what, it's just not for me. I'm just not going to be able to do it. There's just too much change for me to adjust to, and I would rather stay in the United States of America. Don't get down on yourself. Just like she said in the video, it is either for you or it is not for you. Definitely would not try to force it. It is something that has to be natural, because if it's not, you're going to find yourself very depressed in that country for, you know, for whatever, however long you are able to stay there until you can move back. And you definitely don't want that. So, you know, moving abroad is a big thing. It's a big decision. It's a big jump, moving from one continent to the next. And the cultural shock that's going to come with it is just crazy. So let me talk about some of the things that is important for you to make sure you do when you're visiting. All right, so when you visit, those times that you're visiting, you really need to take a journal. Maybe get a notebook of some sort, write down the pros and cons of everything that you've seen, everything that you feel like, okay, this is definitely a good thing. I definitely like this. And what are some things that you don't like? What are some things that you don't like? And the things that you don't like, I would actually suggest for you to sit down and say to yourself, okay, how can I move that con over to the pro side? Because a lot of times you're able to move the con over to the pro if you say, okay, this is what I can do, or this is what Ghana has in order for me to kind of move that over to the pro side. Now, of course, the luxury of living in the United States of America is that everything is really at our fingertips. I mean, we don't have to leave the house for anything. Going shopping. We can stay home, ordering food, we can stay home. I mean, there's really no reason for us to get out of the house unless to go to work, and even that can be done from home. So United States of America does have some luxuries in that aspect, is that we have so much. We have so many variety of things and food and places to go and things like that, and it's just like it's almost like you never get bored. There's just so much stuff to do. But when you're moving to Ghana, while you need to visit there, you need to see how different their life is. It's very slow moving in Ghana. I mean, people just kind of, you know, hey, you know what I'm saying? We having a good day. It's a sunny day outside. We doing our thing. No, you're not going to rush me. I'm enjoying life. I mean, they are enjoying life. They're enjoying living. They're doing what they do on a regular basis. They are, you know, they don't feel like they need to rush for anything. For what? I mean, it is what it is. So when you go there, at least you can see kind of, you know, how it moves, how Ghana moves, how the people move. And then you're able to say, okay, it's a lot slower moving here. Things work at a pace that we want to work on. And if you're not able to adjust to that, or you're going to find yourself, okay, this is just too much slow, you know, too slow for me, then of course that's going to be a con for you. But you can move that con over to the pro by saying to yourself, okay, what is the bad thing about being in the United States all the time? You know, being in the United States and everything always being quick. You don't have time to really sit and so-called smell the roses. And in Ghana, at least you can relax for a minute. You don't have to be so stressed out. You know, things are not that serious. It will get done. But of course, the way they do things, at the pace they do things, is differently. Another reason why you should visit there is just so that you can understand how there might be some times where there's going to be some power outage. There's some infrastructure issues that are still going on in Ghana. It is developing, but there's still a lot of things that need to be improved. One of those things is just the constant generation of electricity. Now, it has gotten better, and it is better in some areas than the others, but there is always going to be some type of power outage. I don't think I've ever been to Ghana where there is not some type of power outage. And so you have to prepare yourself for that, especially if you, you know, have to use the internet for certain things like that. You need to be mindful of that. Internet, now that we're talking about that, again, during the visit, you're able to see, okay, this is the connectivity of the internet. Ghana does have the fastest internet service, I think, in Africa, and I might be wrong on that. Their internet service is pretty good, actually. During the summertime, like, we had no issues with the internet whatsoever. And so it has definitely getting better with connectivity issues or whatever. So you're able to have reliable internet. But if you visit, then you're able to see, okay, these are the different options that I can do in order for me to have internet service or what have you. You're able to at least get that information. So the visit is really for you to kind of get that information. Oh, this is what I need. This is what I need to make sure that I have in place when I move. So it's pretty much a preparation for you. It's also give you the opportunity to see what's there and what's not there, so that you can say, okay, no, they don't have a Chick-fil-A here. Okay, no, they do not. They do not have a Target. They do not have a Walmart. And so you're going to have to find ways then, where are you going to shop, where are you going to shop for your food and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, familiarize yourself with as much as this of the country as you can during that visit, so that when you permanently move there, you're already aware of what's going on. There's no surprises. You have done the homework before moving. So it's important that you do your homework before moving over to Ghana permanently, and visiting there is the best way to do that. The last thing that needs to happen before you move there is you definitely need to find some type of networking as far as other African Americans. There is an African American association in Ghana. I'm not sure how active it is, but it is there. But there are so many different things, so many different people on YouTube that are talking about their experiences in Ghana, and I will link them below. I do subscribe to a couple of channels, and I do look at on TikTok too to see what they have to say. So I will go on these YouTube channels and really familiarize yourself with those people as well, and maybe there's a way for you to connect with those people. I do know that Ghanaians, including my husband, will always say, well, don't spend so much time with African Americans. You definitely need to start broadening your horizons and start going and make sure that you're socializing with the Ghanaian people as well. But I do feel like that it's important to have that connection to African Americans, to have that networking too with African Americans, because it does make the stay a little easier for you to have that familiarity with people that share your same perspective in a lot of ways. You're not going to be around family, you're not going to be around your friends, and so it's good for you to at least have that tight-knit circle sometimes that can make you feel comfortable. So I do feel like at least being able to be a part of those groups in the African American group, so that you can at least get you some type of tight-knit circle going on. Not to say that you can't have a tight-knit circle with Ghanaians, you definitely can, but I feel like that you do need to have that that connection with the African Americans as well, just to make your stay a little bit more familiar while you're there. So yes, that is what I feel like definitely needs to happen before you move to Ghana. You need to visit there, familiarize yourself with the area, familiarize yourself with the countries, write down as much as you can write down, take it back, study it, and you really need to sit down and think, is this a place that I want to see myself living for a long period of time? And if you find yourself saying yes to that, then congratulations, you are going to be moving to Ghana, and I know that it will be a successful move for you. All right, you all, I am Michele Mazelleغ. Thank you all for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.